In today's class, we shall learn about zero order reactions. So, so let us see what is the definition of a zero order reaction. A reaction in which the rate is independent of the concentration of its reactants. So writing a mathematical term to that statement, we can write it as R is equal to K into concentration of A to the power of 0. So imagine that we considered a hypothetical reaction of A gives rise to products. Let us just rewrite it again. We have considered a hypothetical reaction as A gives rise to products. Then basing on the above definition, we can write a rate law for this reaction as from experimental data R is equal to K into A to the power of 0. Remember, anything to the power of 0 is 1. So R is equal to K into 1, or the rate is a constant value. So if you can draw a graph between the rate of the reaction on the y-axis and the concentration of the reactants on the x-axis, then the rate shall be a straight line parallel to the x-axis. Since the rate remains constant, it is not dependent on the concentration of the reactant. Example, all photochemical reactions which depend on light. For example, an example of a photochemical reaction is reaction between hydrogen and chlorine to give you HCl. Okay, if you balance the reaction, it is 2HCl. Let us say we started with 1 mole each of the reactant and we are expecting the reaction to complete. Okay, let us say it took some 10 minutes time to complete. Oh sorry, it takes minutes. It's a very fast reaction. Let us say it took a minute time. Then let us raise it to 10 moles each. But still the reaction time doesn't vary, it remains almost same. But if you can put sunlight or UV light in this reaction, then the reaction completes in seconds. Previously it was taking a minute time, now it completes in seconds, and you can find that this reaction has geared up, or the rate of the reaction has increased, all because of the sunlight you have put in the reaction. So the concentration of the reactant, be it 1 mole or 10 mole, doesn't affect the speed of the reaction, and only sunlight was responsible for the rate of a reaction. And that is why you can say photochemical reactions are zero order reactions. One. Second, another example is decomposition of ammonia. If you take ammonia and you decompose it on a platinum or a tungsten surface, then it is a solid metal. Then you get nitrogen and hydrogen gases back. But you can observe that this reaction, in the absence of this catalyst, the reaction is very slow. But once the catalyst has been provided, the reaction gears up, or the rate of the reaction increases. So you can tell that the rate of the reaction is based on the presence of the catalyst, but not on the amounts of the concentration of ammonia or the amounts of ammonia that are present. So you can write R is equal to K into NH3 to the power of 0. So you can say R is becoming equal to the rate constant K. Similarly, in the above reaction also you can write R is equal to K into concentration of H2 to the power of 0 as well as Cl2 to the power of 0. So you can finally say R is equal to K. So these reactions in which rate is independent of the concentration of the reactant are all called as zero order reactions. Now let us derive an integrated rate equation for a zero order reaction. So for the rate constant derivation, so we are trying to derive a rate constant K for the zero order reaction. Let us consider our representation of the hypothetical reaction what we took. R is equal to K into a to the power of 0 basing on our definition. So R is equal to K into a to the power of 0. So in the next step we wrote it as R is equal to K. What is R? It is rate. What was rate definition? We told it as change in the concentration of the reactant with respect to time. Why did we give a minus sign? Because concentration of the reactant decreases with time, which is equal to K. So rewriting, we can get it as D change in the concentration of A is nothing but K into dt. So let us send the minus sign to the other side, then it becomes minus of K into dt. Now applying integration on both sides. Integration on both sides. So integral of d of A is nothing but minus of K into integral of dt. In our previous classes also we told integration and differentiation are two opposite mathematical operations, so they cancel out each other mutually. So the concentration of the reactant A is nothing but minus of K into T, and to exactly match to the integration value we have to introduce a constant C also. It is not concentration of C, so it becomes minus of Kt plus C, where C is called integration constant. Now let us take a first condition in our reaction, which is case 1, when time is equal to 0. In our also we have spoke about this condition in our first order reactions. When time is 0, we will be saying that the concentration of the reactant will be always equal to A naught. Will be always equal to A naught. So if that is the case, what can you write it as? So substituting this in our expression number 1, what we got here. Okay? If you substitute this condition, concentration of A is nothing but minus of K into 0 plus concentration of A naught. K into 0 plus C. So we can see that C is nothing but equal to concentration of A naught that is left. So substitute this in equation 1. Okay, if you substitute that condition C is equal to A naught in equation 1, the equation 1 now takes a turn as concentration of A is equal to minus of Kt plus A naught. Now you can observe this equation is also in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So for which you can give a graphical representation. So y is equal to mx plus c is a graph making an intercept on the y-axis, and the y-axis term is the concentration of the reactant, and the x-axis term is the time of the reaction. And as it is making an intercept, and that intercept value is c, which is equal to A naught, and the slope is equal to minus k. So you will be showing it as a straight line with a negative slope for the shape. And so the intercept is A naught, and the slope is equal to minus k. Now let us mark this as equation 2. Okay, now let us rearrange this equation. On rearranging, equation 2, So let us bring A terms to one side and KT term to the other side. So minus KT to the LHS side becomes positive. A naught remains positive on the RHS side, and A when sent to the RHS side turns out to be negative. So the expression is KT is equal to A naught minus A, or K is equal to A naught concentration minus of A concentration divided by the time of the reaction. This is your equation 3 is your rate constant formula for zero order reactions. Okay, in this, what is K again? Or same terms, K is nothing but rate constant. What is A naught? Is initial amount. What is A? Amount left on the reactant side. Okay, and T is time of reaction. Remember, we all derived half-life for first order reaction. Similarly, let us apply a case 2 condition and derive half-life formula. At half-life, T shall be taken as T 50%, and the amount left on the reactant will be exactly half of your initial amount. So let us substitute these in equation number 3. If you substitute in equation number 3, K is nothing but A naught remains as A naught, and A takes as A naught by 2 divided by T 50%. Now rewriting up, T 50% is nothing but A naught by 2 divided by K, or you can write T 50% is nothing but A naught by 2 times of K. So this is the formula for half-life of zero order reactions, in which you can observe that the half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. So it's in the form of Y is equal to mx. So taking initial concentration on the x-axis and half-life on the y-axis, we get a graph of it as a straight line passing through origin. So this is the integrated rate equation formula for zero order reactions, and this is the expression for half-life of zero order reactions. So this is our today's class. We shall meet in tomorrow's class with a new topic again. Thank you.